Here's a step-by-step guide to help you fix the random freezing and black screens you're experiencing with your RX 5700 and i3-12100F system. This kind of issue can be caused by various factors like hardware problems, software conflicts, or thermal issues. Let's troubleshoot each possibility. Title: Fix random freezing and black screens while gaming. RX 5700 and i3-12100F. What you'll need: a working internet connection, basic PC tools for checking cables and components, a software like HWMonitor for monitoring temperatures, and driver cleaner for graphics card drivers. Step 1. Check for overheating. Overheating can cause the GPU or CPU to throttle or crash. Let's check if the issue might be related to thermal stress. Install HWMonitor or MSI Afterburner to monitor the temperature of your CPU and GPU while gaming. Ideal GPU temperature should be under 80 degrees Celsius. Ideal CPU temperature should be under 70 to 75 degrees Celsius. Make sure your PC is well ventilated. Check that all fans, including case fans, GPU fans, and CPU fans, are working properly. Also, make sure there's no dust buildup on fans or heat sinks. Clean your PC. If you haven't cleaned it recently, use compressed air to remove any dust from the GPU, CPU heatsink, and case. Step 2. Update or reinstall your GPU drivers. Corrupted or outdated drivers can often cause freezing or black screens. Let's reset your GPU drivers to make sure they are not causing the problem. Uninstall existing drivers. Go to Device Manager by pressing the Windows key and the X key together, then select it. Expand Display Adapters. Right-click your RX 5700 and choose Uninstall Device. Check Delete the driver software for this device if prompted. Use Display Driver Uninstaller or DDU to fully remove the drivers. Download and run DDU, then select AMD as the driver type. Choose Clean and Restart to ensure all traces of AMD drivers are removed. Reinstall the latest AMD drivers. Go to AMD's official website and download the latest drivers for your RX 5700. Install the drivers and restart your PC. Include a link to the AMD website. Step 3. Check the power supply. A failing or underpowered PSU or power supply unit can cause instability, especially under load when gaming. Check if your PSU is rated correctly. Make sure your PSU is rated for at least 650 watts for your RX 5700 and i3 CPU combo. If you have an older or lower wattage PSU, consider upgrading to a high-quality PSU, like an 80 Plus bronze or better. Ensure that all power cables to your GPU and motherboard are securely connected. Step 4. Adjust game settings for a potential CPU-GPU bottleneck. Even if you lower your settings, there may be an underlying bottleneck between your i3-12100F and RX 5700. Try lowering settings that are CPU-intensive like shadow quality view distance or physics settings. If you're using high settings like ray tracing or ultra settings, these may push your CPU or GPU too hard. Sometimes running games at too high FPS can cause instability. Limit FPS to between 60 and 120 using VSync or FPS limiters in-game, or via the AMD Adrenalin software. Step 5. Check for Windows or software conflicts. Sometimes background software can conflict with gaming and cause instability. Disable unnecessary startup programs. Press Ctrl plus Shift plus ESC to open Task Manager and go to the Startup tab. Disable any unnecessary programs from starting up. Check for Windows updates. Go to Settings, then Update and Security, and finally Windows Update. Make sure your system is up to date. Sometimes a pending Windows update can cause instability with hardware or drivers. Check for background processes. Make sure there are no resource-heavy processes running in the background, like antivirus scans or Windows updates. Step 6. Run a stress test. Stress testing helps identify if your GPU or CPU is failing under load. Test your CPU. Download Prime 95 and run a stress test. If the system freezes, this could indicate a CPU issue or thermal throttling. Test your GPU, download Firmark, and run a stress test on your GPU. Monitor temperatures. If the GPU crashes or temps spike above 85 degrees Celsius, it may need cleaning, new thermal paste, or replacement. Step 7. Consider upgrading your CPU if necessary. Your i3-12100F is entry-level for gaming, and while it's decent for light gaming, it may not be ideal for more demanding titles paired with the RX 5700. CPU upgrade considerations. Upgrade to something like the Intel i5-12600K or AMD Ryzen 5 5600X, which would pair better with your RX 5700. Ensure your motherboard supports the new CPU. You may need to update the BIOS. Step 8. Check for faulty hardware. If none of the above works, you may have a hardware issue with either the GPU or the motherboard. Try your RX 5700 in another PC if possible, to rule out GPU failure. Test another PSU to see if the current one is unstable. Try another RAM slot or different RAM sticks to rule out memory-related issues. Final check. After following all the above steps, if the issue persists, you might be dealing with an underlying hardware issue. For example, a faulty GPU or PSU. In that case, it's best to contact AMD support or consider professional help. Pro tip: future-proofing. As you mentioned, considering a CPU upgrade if you continue gaming at higher settings, an upgrade to an AMD Ryzen 5 or Intel i5 might be a good move for smoother performance in the long run.